I'm not going to go through the whole rule book, but it boils down to this. If you fall below the speed of 3 miles per hour, you get your ticket. Walk until there's only one of you left and no finish line.
In an alternate version of the United States, the country has fallen under strict military rule, creating a harsh and controlling society. The major is the only person in charge. To keep control, the government organizes a deadly event called the Long Walk. The prize is fame, wealth, and one wish for anything the winner wants. The competition is shown on national TV, and for many people, it is their only chance to escape poverty. Volunteers come forward, and a lottery selects 50 participants. Ray, the only boy from Maine, is chosen, and his mother, Ginny, drives him to the event. The car ride is quiet and tense. Ginny wishes Ray would reconsider, but he tells her it's not her choice. When they arrive, Ginny hugs Ray tightly, breaking down as she says goodbye. Ray then enters the event grounds and meets Peter, a friendly boy who immediately tries to make him feel welcome. Most of the participants seem kind, and soon they are chatting happily while waiting. Curly, however, keeps pacing nervously. He looks very young, and though he says he is 18, no one believes him. Finally, the major appears. He gives each boy a metal tag with their number and tells them they are now men. He delivers a speech, saying the Long Walk was created to bring back hard work and determination in a country struggling since the war. According to him, the event motivates the nation, and he believes laziness is the real problem holding people back. As the major speaks, the competitors are fitted with bracelets that track their speed. Then, the major explains the rules clearly. Everyone must keep walking until only one person remains. There is no finish line. They must maintain a speed of 3 miles per hour. Falling below that triggers a warning, and if they can't regain speed within 10 seconds, they receive another warning. 3 warnings mean they will be shot. Stepping off the pavement leads to immediate death, without any warnings. The major finishes his speech by making everyone cheer and fires a gun into the air, officially starting the contest. Military trucks follow the boys, recording everything as they walk. The road is empty and bleak at first, since spectators are only allowed near the final stretch. At the start, only locals living along the road can watch. A police officer salutes as the boys pass, but an irritated Gary flips him off and spits on the ground. At first, everyone is focused and serious. By mile 5, however, many of the boys begin chatting. Stebbins slows slightly and immediately gets a warning, quickly picking up his pace again. The others wonder if he slowed down intentionally to test the limits. Gary struggles when he feels a rock in his shoe, and soldiers start giving him warnings. After the 3rd warning, a soldier aims his gun at him, but Gary manages to put the shoe back on just in time to keep walking. The other boys think he's foolish, but Gary says he just needed a short break. By mile 7, the boys begin talking about the prize. Arthur admits he's here only for the money, while Ray insists there are more important things. Some are skeptical, but Ray explains that the system forces people into this situation. The government makes them believe they are volunteering, but in reality, poverty and desperation leave them no real choice. Some boys worry about speaking negatively on camera, but Peter is inspired by Ray's words and agrees they could use the prize money to help others. Then Peter lights a cigarette, despite Hank warning him against it. Arthur asks Peter to share the cigarette, and the boys laugh. Their conversation is interrupted when Richard pushes through, writing down everyone's names and numbers. He wants to write a book about the Long Walk to gain fame. Peter thinks it's pointless. If Richard wins, he will already be rich and famous. Later, Curly cries out in pain, feeling a cramp in his legs. As he slows down, the soldiers warn him, so Ray helps him walk while Peter and he encourage Curly with supportive words. Feeling determined, Curly tries to keep walking on his own, but the pain becomes unbearable, and he collapses to the ground. After the 3rd warning, a soldier shoots him in the head. The shock slows Ray down, and he receives a warning too, so Peter urges him to keep moving faster. A short while later, the major appears on the road and delivers a speech about Curly, saying a comrade has fallen and should be remembered for his bravery. Ray asks a soldier to refill his water canteen, and in a nervous gesture, touches the man's gun. When Peter needs to relieve himself, he simply pees in the middle of the road. By mile 17, they spot a girl near the road holding a sign and cheering for Ray. The other boys tease him for having a fan, even though she is too young. Suddenly, a boy has a seizure and collapses on the road. The soldiers begin giving warnings, while Gary jumps over the boy, mocking him for hiding health problems. Soon the sick boy is shot, and Gary remarks that everyone should be glad because there's less competition. At mile 25, Gary starts bullying a boy named Rank. Rank tries to ignore him at first, but when Gary insults his mother, Rank gets angry and swings at him. Gary dodges all the punches, and Rank falls hard. He doesn't get up in time and is shot by the soldiers. The other boys start yelling at Gary, blaming him for what happened, and express hope that he will be eliminated too. Later, another boy has to lower his pants to relieve himself while walking. Despite trying to keep moving, he slows down and is shot as well. By mile 35, the major appears again, congratulating them for reaching the first night. He uses motivational words to make the challenge seem noble. Ray begins to doze off and dreams about his mother. The soldiers warn him when he slows down, and Peter has to wake him. The boys talk about their families as they walk, and Ray accidentally slows again, earning a second warning. He speeds up but soon stumbles and gets a third warning, meaning he must walk for 3 hours without slowing down to clear them. Peter encourages him, but Ray, nervous and frustrated, snaps, accusing Peter of only pretending to care. At that moment, they reach a steep hill, making walking even harder. Several boys fall and are shot. Ray tries to ignore the deaths behind him but still faces Gary's teasing. He begins to slow down, but Peter catches him just in time. Ray thanks him and apologizes for his earlier outburst. By morning, the boys reach mile 59. After the deaths on the hill, only 18 remain. By mile 67, Hank is barely holding on. Peter checks on him, but Hank snaps at him. Meanwhile, Richard, who has been walking with a twisted ankle, finally slows. The soldiers warn him, and Ray tries to encourage him, but Richard collapses. A soldier shoots him while 2 children watch. At mile 100, the major returns to congratulate them. A boy tries to escape by running into a building, but soldiers immediately shoot him down. By mile 103, the boys talk about what they would wish for. Peter says he'd want 2 winners instead of 1, while Ray dreams of changing the whole system. The others remind him the wish cannot directly change the rules. Frustrated, they curse the major and the competition. In the evening, heavy rain begins. Ray struggles to stay awake, with Peter helping him walk. By morning, they reach mile 144, and Arthur stops to relieve himself. The soldiers warn him, so he keeps moving before finishing. The boys continue chatting to distract themselves from exhaustion. Ray decides to tell Peter about his father, whom he admires as a hero. His father used to teach forbidden subjects like philosophy and was considered a traitor by the government. The major demanded that Ray's father quit his lessons and pledge loyalty, but he refused, and the soldiers executed him immediately. Afterward, Ray revealed a secret: he had joined the long walk hoping to get a gun and take revenge on the major. As they continued, Ray complained about the people watching them suffer, but Peter reminded him that those onlookers were also victims of the system, trained to believe that this cruelty was noble. By the time they reached mile 170, no one felt like talking anymore. A boy with bleeding feet could no longer go on. He begged the soldiers for help and tried to climb onto a tank, but a soldier knocked him down, and the tank ran over his legs. The horrific scene caused another boy to lose his mind. He stripped off his clothes and ran off the road, only to be shot as well. Meanwhile, Hank noticed he had lost a tooth. By evening, they reached mile 201, and Hank could barely stand. Ray tried to encourage him, but Hank had had enough. He turned toward the soldier's truck and was shot on the spot. Arthur, devastated, ran to hold his dying friend but was forced to retreat by Ray to avoid being shot himself. The next morning, at mile 209, only 6 boys remained. They remembered Hank's wife and agreed that the winner of the walk should give her some of the prize money. Gary, feeling left out, approached Ray and confessed that he had been haunted by Rank's death. He said he never intended for Rank to die and apologized, insisting it was not his fault. He promised to help Hank's wife too, and the others welcomed him back into their group. As they continued, Gary struggled with guilt and frustration. He snapped at the others, walked ahead, and used a spoon to end his life. The soldiers still gave him warnings and shot him in the head, as usual. By mile 260, the remaining boys tried to lift their spirits by singing. On the 5th day, at mile 278, they reached Ray's hometown. Kali thought Ray was lucky to see his mother, but Ray felt cursed, knowing he would have to leave her again. At mile 286, crossing through the town, one of Ray's boots broke. Arthur warned him that an unbalanced step would make walking harder. Ray removed both shoes, revealing his bleeding feet. When he saw his mother, Ginny, he ran to hug her. She stepped back, urging him to stay on the road. Peter pulled Ray back just in time to prevent the soldiers from shooting. Ray shouted a final apology to his crying mother, realizing he was no better than his father. As they continued, Peter shared his own story. His parents died during the war, and he went to live with an abusive uncle who beat him until Peter was 10. Afterward, Peter survived on the streets, stealing and fighting. During one fight, his opponent slashed his face, landing him in the hospital. From that day, Peter vowed to always find the light, even in the darkest times. He planned to use the prize money to help orphans. By mile 306, Stebbins warned that helping each other would prolong the walk. The others agreed, even though it felt cruel. When Arthur's nose started bleeding, they had to ignore him. Kali, pushed over the edge, ran ahead, stole a gun from a soldier, and shot Arthur dead. The boys are heartbroken as they watch Kali get shot in return. But Kali refuses to let them witness his death fully and ends his own life before they can finish him. At mile 324, Arthur's nosebleed worsens. Peter and Ray abandon the deal to help him walk, but Arthur knows his time is short. He asks his friends to give his locket to his grandmother if they survive. He also tells them not to look back until he moves away from them. Arthur walks toward the truck, and the soldiers quickly shoot him. Night falls around mile 326. The 3 remaining players cross a bridge while the Major continues speaking to them. Ray gets frustrated and starts insulting the Major, but the Major doesn't react. He believes these are the killer instincts a winner needs. Stebbins takes the moment to reveal that he is one of the Major's many illegitimate sons and that his dream was to live in his father's house. But Stebbins can feel his body failing and wants the ordeal to end. He says it has been an honor to walk with them and that he is glad the winner will be either Peter or Ray. Then he stops walking, and the soldiers kill him without his father caring. Soon after, rain begins to fall. Ray admits he used to fear death, but after seeing so many boys die, he no longer feels afraid because he knows this moment is important. By mile 331, Peter and Ray reach a town with a huge cheering crowd. Peter stops and says he wants to give up so Ray can see his mother again. Ray refuses and encourages him to keep moving. Peter walks ahead, unaware that Ray has stopped behind him. The soldiers shoot Peter, and as he tries to return for Ray, they drag him away since he is the winner. Ray tells Peter he loves him and apologizes to his mother before the Major appears to deliver the final shot that kills him. The crowd cheers, and fireworks light up the sky while Peter breaks down. The Major congratulates Peter and asks what his wish is. Peter says he wants a soldier's gun to pass down to his children as a symbol of his victory. The soldiers hesitate, but the Major orders them to grant it because Peter is a good man. As Peter takes the gun, he points it at the Major. The Major tries to calm him, reminding him of fame and fortune. Crying, Peter says, "This is for Ray," and shoots the Major. He drops the gun and walks away. If you enjoyed this The Long Walk, 2025, movies full recap, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and thanks for watching.